Hello, thank you all for tuning into tonight's talk show. We got Ria, or my Inkling android, who is handling the cameras and such. Say hi, Ria. Thanks, Ria. Now, let me introduce a good friend who will be joining me on this review. Riki Smash Pow.
Hey, what is up, Michael B Nation? I'm a dude, Killer Reek Star. Let's just get right into the review, shall we? Can we get some footage of the summary episode up in here?
He poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses!
He did?
No! But are we just gonna wait around until he does?
Hey, who's the pig?
Are you talking to me?
Uh-oh, they called him a pig.
Are you talking to me?
Shouldn't have done that.
Are you talking to me?
Now they're in for it.
They call me Mr. Pig! Ah!
All right, Pinhead, your time is up.
Who you calling Pinhead?
Holy Jesus.
Spiders! Spiders! Spiders!
Wait, why did you bring that footage? I was gonna make that separate.
The people need to know the truth, man.
What are you, the comment section of every Steven Universe theory video?
Nah, it's just like past the normal not pod bedtime. I'm a bit loopy. I'm still ready to nitpick the stuff out of everything though.
Somebody needs to give this Zero Pawn some 5-hour energies. I'll get into my thoughts about this series while we wait.
I'll be back to nitpick once I ingest.
Sure thing. Anyways, I would like to say that this is the most accurate to the show thus far. By that, I mean they open with the theme, end with the credits and the little closing theme, and even had the coming up next bumper, which is a nice touch. I would also like to admit, for an English dub of Portuguese series, the lip sync is matched pretty well. Even if the episodes are on the short end, each of being about 3 minutes if you put them all together. But we only watched one episode, parts 1 through 3. Episode 2 in the Portuguese is pretty good, actually. I watched it on my own, and it's actually much better if you watch episode 2 now, before the dub comes out, because then it's actually a little bit more of a surprise, and you can still understand what's going on. Even if they haven't been subbed or dubbed yet, it bothers me that we don't have the full series in dub or sub. Also, props for being the first fan series to have a fan dub. That means this series must have some serious backing by the fans. I really hope they continue the series, but maybe try to make sure that the characters get some development along with why they are so respected. Characters seem lackluster, but Tourmaline is by far my favorite. Just the voice actor is enough. The story is also decent, but it's rather confusing like Kunzai Universe, where we don't have much context and we are just thrown in. We get the characters' names from the opening, but they just don't have chemistry, and it drags the series down a bit, even if it's the first episodes. They all seem kind of similar in the fact that they are all heroes. Tourmaline and Aquamarine are your goody two-shoes characters, and they shouldn't have both characters be the goody two-shoes. They should have Tourmaline only be the one, because I feel like she's the youngest looking and acting of the gems. Aquamarine could be probably rewritten to be shy and a quiet persona, who likes to have fun but isn't the one to start it. Citrine is your generic protagonist, who is all good and is just, meh. I don't like many of the characters besides Tourmaline because I think cinnamon roll characters are the best. I gravitate towards characters like that because I cannot hate them. But when most of the characters feel so similar they just don't feel unique, it's like Sapphire and Blue Topaz. They aren't recolors because they aren't lazy, but they feel just so similar. The animation is fluent and has an anime feeling to it, which is what I really wanted from this. I think with some minor improvements, the characters can all feel unique. On the other hand, having the setting not take place on Earth was a breath of fresh air. I loved being able to see somewhere that is unique and hasn't been explored in the series yet, so that allows them to do as much as they please with it. In fact, the voice acting in my eyes is actually pretty decent compared to what we've seen before. It isn't amazing to say, but it also isn't the worst. I actually sat down and watched the original dubs with subs, and it was very enjoyable. Seems the dub versus subs war is still split for me. The voice acting in the original is really good and keeps each character sounding different, and to my surprise, the original already has everything I could improve for those characters. Aquamarine is shy, Tourmaline is adorable, and Citrine is just kind of the same. Another thing I want to bring up is the pacing. It seems rather rushed. The speed made it more a little comedic than serious. That's just a small problem that was fixed in later episodes, aka episode 2 part 1, but that's about it for my part, and I still think it's watchable. Riki, are you done juggling those things down?
Right, I'm back in business. So, since Michael was busy giving out compliments like an SJW who doesn't want to offend anybody,
Hey!
I'm going to get into the problems of this. Let's start with the audio. By no means is it expected for a fan series to have the same level of voice acting ability, or budget for that matter, as any professionally made television show. But I do, however, expect effort from the voice actors. Most of the characters' voices, in the English dub at least, blend together and are often flat and emotionless. They could be faced with a major problem and just be like, oh, no, bad thing. Most of the music is also just recycled from the base show. I mean, sure, if it's appropriate if you're using canon characters and it's their theme, maybe. But originality, or at least just copyright-free music that you found on your own, would be appreciated. On to the plot. We have our 4 dunces wandering around singing. This causes the yellow one to get mad. I mean, I don't really blame her. Then randomly, their diamond communicator is called by a frantic blue pearl who tells them that a diamond court is getting attacked. One of the highest levels of government, by the way. So, what do? Summon 3 cops. Yeah, our main protagonists are just 3 cops. When they get there, they have to fight off some extremely edgy-looking terrorists. Let me just skip over why the terrorists are there for a minute. We'll get to that after. Yellow gets poofed and is kidnapped by the edgelords, who bring her to a jail with a glass door or something. One of the terrorists, who is brown, not edgy like the rest of them for some reason, appears and presses the only button on the wall, letting her out. Another brown guy appears and copies that stormtrooper from the Star Wars movie. Yellow suggests escaping, and Brown Man 1 is like, nah fam, I'm cool. So he gets knocked over, and Brown Man 2 chases Yellow for a bit before she turns around and smacks him with a sword. She then finds all her friends in jail as well. And that's where the dubbed/subbed version, but English at least, ends. Now, my main gripe for the plot and canon of this universe. The item that the edgy terrorists were after was a data drive with the information of all the diamond activities on it. Now, that sounds like an actual very important artifact, but what was it? A USB drive. I really should not have to explain why that is such a huge problem. I won't even bother pointing out the rest of the flaws, like the full diamond insignia on the uniform and why that's, whatever, inconsistent. I'll admit, the first time you view this, and if you're not going out of your way to view this in a critical way, it was pretty entertaining. The pacing issue kind of turns into more comedy than an actual issue of just watching it for fun. I'll give it that.
Thanks, Riki, but, Riki, how would we grade this show? I'm not giving it a numerical rating or the old one I had. What should we use? Introducing POW or Octopoints. Each one is like a medal. Bronze is below average with flaws that are painfully obvious, but it's somewhat watchable for some reason. Silver is average with flaws that don't outweigh the positives and still make the series something to check out. And gold is above average with not many flaws and is a must-watch for any viewer. No numbers, just a way to help your series. What would you say the series is?
As of now, I would give it a bronze. A light bronze at that. Keep in mind this is only for the English dub, and the Portuguese sub with the English text is not taken into account. The English dub has okay-ish animation with some funny moments to keep it watchable.
I have to disagree. While the animation can be a little simple at times, it's never to the point where you will lose interest in the narrative. The series is something I think people should check out, but I have one request. Watch the subs or the original. The voice acting in the Portuguese is very good. Each character actually sounds different and feels different. The animation feels more anime than normal, and it's actually very charming in a world filled with the Western-style animation. It has a nice breath of fresh air, and I personally enjoyed the series more by watching the original version. There are spots where the animation looks really well done, and it's in every episode thus far, which is a treat in my eyes. Even with the small flaw of voice acting in the English dub, I still think it's watchable. The latest episode was longer than the others, and it had some good story building to it. I think the series should get a silver. It has its charms and flaws, but the flaws don't take much away from the series. I think the silver is a good reward to give. With a few tweaks, I think that this series could be the first to actually receive my gold point. Homeworld's Guardians, Guardios de Homeworld, is a good fanimation that should get some more attention. Go check out the subs. I have links in the description if you're interested.
That is also considering you added the Portuguese version, and nonetheless, everyone has their own opinion.
Even with that, I still think the show is a little bit incomplete with the English dub version. I can't grade an incomplete version. It's like KU. More episodes just have to come out before I can make an accurate opinion about the series.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime. But until next time, see you all later when I review Steven Universe's Destiny Cries, which is also a fan series. Goodbye.